All right. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to our fun and informative call tonight. I have got a super exciting surprise for you guys. I don't know if you saw the invite or not, but I have a guest. You see the chair over here to my side. There's someone very special that's going to be joining me here in a little bit, and I'll tell you about that. But before I do, my name is Dr. Staci, and I am going to share with you the information tonight on the science and technology of how LifeWave patches work and what they can do for you in your life for your health, as well as be able to answer all of your questions. But I have a special guest that just walked in the room that's going to be joining us here in a little bit. And she has been utilizing this technology in her life for her health journey, which she will share a little bit with you as well, too, for the last 3.5 years. So when I found out about these patches a little over 1.5 years ago from my good friend, April Vaughn, who's literally going to be pulling in the driveway in literally about 45 minutes, she and I have been friends for 20 years. And so she introduced this to me because of my daughter, Taylor. She had RA issues herself, and she knew that this would be something that would be able to help Taylor. And so I'm like, yes, whatever it is, I'll buy it for my child. Just send me the link. And so we got on the phone and got to be able to chat about the product. We talked to Wendy and Kathleen, who are holistic practitioners who've been using it in their life and their practices for almost 1.5 years at that time. And I was just enthralled by all the information April had sent me. Well, she said, hey, guess what? The inventor of this technology, David Schmidt, he is going to be in Sarasota, Florida, where you live, like 15 minutes from your house, in literally 4 days. It's kind of like the situation I'm in right now. Seriously, David is going to be here in 4 days. And so she said, drop everything you're doing. You've got to go listen to him talk about the science and tech. Watch these videos in the meantime. So I had a girls' weekend planned. Canceled that, said, I got to be home. I got to attend this event. I want to hear what this man has to say. And so very much for those of you that are coming in this weekend, you are going to be able to experience very close to the same thing. And so I went that day. I grabbed my good friend, Laura Balzer, who had cured herself from breast cancer back in 2017, I believe it was, using holistic modalities, IV therapy, supplementation, detoxification, nutrition, things like that. And so I grabbed her and I said, hey, this is stem cell activation technology. I know what stem cells are. You know what stem cells are. They're the holy grail of healing, but there's other patches as well, too. Let's get there together. And so we sat down and listened to David speak on the science and tech and just wrote notes as fast as we could. And then David took a little break and people came up and shared their personal testimonials. And I'm sharing this with you guys because I was sold on the science. I banked both my kids' cord blood. I've known what stem cells are for over 20 years, right? I've done research. I spent over 10 years doing different types of stem cell therapy with Taylor in and out of the country. And so I know the power of stem cells. Never seen anything like this, literally like size of a Band-Aid, price of a cup of coffee, that would signal your body to make more of its own stem cells, let alone reset them back to their young, youthful state, healthy state. And so then what happened was these people started coming up for the next hour and sharing their personal testimonials, many like you're going to hear this weekend if you're going to be here. And Laura and I were blown away. Like, we were crying, we were covered in chills for an hour. And she looked at me and I looked at her and she's like, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to tell everybody I know about this. Like, I've been telling everybody about stem cells. I've taken people to Mexico. There's a legit validity in stem cells if you can afford it. But I said, this is the price of a cup of coffee. I'm telling every single person I know, but I'm not going to build any type of business or anything like that. You know, I'm good with that, but I have to tell everybody. And so anyway, long story short, the last 5 minutes, there was a little bitty teeny tiny bit of recognition. And there were 2 women that came up that had promoted almost to the top of LifeWave. And I looked at Laura and she looked at me and I'm like, I'm going to need to know a little bit more about this company and this compensation plan and what this is and what they stand for and how their model works for distribution and whatnot. And so we got on the phone. Well, we get on the phone. I got on the phone with Kathleen and Wendy, and I said, tell me everything about the business, the compensation, you know, how this model works and structure. And they're like, we don't know. Just go to startx39biz.com. Marcy created that, and I'm sure there's business stuff on there. So I went there and I looked at the comp plan, printed off the comp plan, and watched a 15-minute video with Marcy and Peter. And I got on the phone with Marcy. I texted her. I was like, I'm going to need a Zoom with you tomorrow night because I have 2 questions about your compensation plan. And before I would tell anybody about anything to do with a business, I'm going to have a conversation with you about this. So she pops open her back office on a Zoom. I went to Laura's condo and we're looking at compensation and we're answering those questions. And I'm like, yep, I'm going to tell everybody about this. I'm going to tell everybody about this as far as the product goes until I'm blue in the face because of what it can do to bring your body back into balance. But I'm also going to share this with people as an alternative way to be able to earn additional income. You can get their patches for free or earn a substantial amount of income, because I don't get behind, in 20 years of holistic health, this is only the third company that I've actually partnered with to work with as a model of distribution to not only help people improve their health, but also their wealth and finances. And so I'm sharing that with you all because Marcy is here today because she and I connected like this. And she has been here with me every single step of the way, making sure that not only, we got the information we need, but also partnering with us and locking arms with us, and has been to all the events and the retreats. And we're doing, she's like one of my best friends. And so she's going to share her testimonial with you, as well as answer your questions as well, because she's been using this. And as a breast cancer survivor herself, going a very different route than Laura did, she has a lot of insight and knowledge into that world. And many of you have those questions. And as you know, as the doctor of integrative and functional medicine, I am not a medical doctor. I'm not your medical doctor, nor can I give you any advice. And anything I share tonight is not intended to treat, cure, or diagnose you, nor is Marcy either, but she has a personal experience with something that's very close to all of you, and or maybe people that you have friends and family that are dealing with the big C, right? And so she has a different, spin on that from her experience and the patches she's used to keep her healthy. And I want her to share that. So Marcy, not yet, babe. You're good. She's like, now? No, not now. All right. So I'm going to go over the science and tech real quick because I want her to share her story. And then I also want you to be able to ask your questions. So we're going to talk primarily about the X39 stem cell activation patch. This patch is non-transdermal. Non-transdermal means nothing is transferring into your body. This is not a pain patch, a birth control patch, an estrogen patch, a hormone patch. Those patches have substances or chemicals that are coming into the body to do what it's supposed to do. This is non-transdermal, which means nothing, no nutrient, no substance, no homeopathic remedy, no energy, nothing is transferring into the body. This is a biophotonic exchange of information. Our body's light communicating with the lattice structure that's in this patch, reflecting back a specific wavelength of light. Now, let me explain that. Real simply, we emit heat. Right now, if you put your hand on your chest, you should feel body heat, right? You're about 98.6. And how do we know that? Because we can go outside here on the East Coast. It's dark. It's 8 o'clock at night. I cannot see Marcy out in the driveway or down the street unless I have on night vision goggles. And then I can see the outline, the shape of the body, because that's the heat the body is emitting. That is what this technology works with. So if you look at the white part, that embedded in that, this is sticky on this side, embedded in that is a crystal lattice structure, okay? It is not a crystal like a rose quartz crystal or an amethyst, not the same crystals, okay? This is what David has invented. David was downloaded the information by the divine to create this patch and all the other patches. We have a dozen patches over the last 20 years. He was downloaded by the divine to create this formulation, a proprietary blend of organic amino acids, sugars, oxygen, and water. These are stereoisomers, molecules that form together in such a way that they form a crystal lattice in here. And that lattice is what our body's heat or light that we emit communicates with, reflects back a very specific wavelength. That wavelength of light signals a peptide in our body. Signals meaning light communicating at the speed of light inside of your body. So signaling GHK-Cu copper peptide, elevating that, which we know declines as you age, in turn resetting a third of your genes back to their young, youthful, healthy state. One of those genes is P63, and it mobilizes your stem cells. Your stem cells are pluripotent. They can turn into any cell, tissue, organ that the body needs. The body knows how to heal itself, right? At the end of the day, you cut your finger, you break your bone. It's not the Band-Aid or the cast that heals you. It's your body going to work. It's your body's stem cells that are going to work, as well as other things, right? But stem cells, we know, are the holy grail of healing. That is what they do. When you're young, you have an abundance of them. That's why 5-year-olds don't have gray hair and 10-year-olds don't have heart disease and 15 16-year-olds don't have back pain. They just don't, because their bodies are always repairing themselves. And as you age, your body has less and less stem cells that are active. So by the time you're in your 30s, if that's you on here, you have about half of your stem cells that are actually active and mobile, working to repair and regenerate your body. By the time in your 60s, there's less than 10%. Past that, there's none detectable in the bloodstream. They're all dormant. They're there, but they're dormant. And you could say, well, I'll pull out my own blood, I'll spin it, and I'll put it back in. You're going to put back in 70-year-old stem cells? Like, no. This is actually going to reset a third of your genes. We know that genes express to one or two other genes. So there is a beautiful compound effect. The compound effect is what I want you to understand tonight. So what that means is the longer you use this, day after day, week after week, month after month, even year after year, as in Marcy's case, right? Then what happens is those genes are expressing reset, healthy, perfect genes are resetting other genes. Right? They're expressing to other genes who are helping that compound effect. So how long do you use this technology? Well, to get started, it's based on your age. So 1 month for every 10 years you are old. If you're in your 40s, 4 months, 50s, 5 months, 60s, 6 months, 70s, 7 months, 80s, 8 months. You get what I'm saying? Or just stop patching whenever you want to start aging again. This stops the aging process in the body, and it repairs the body, regenerates the body. It literally reverses the functionality of your cells and tissues and organs. How do we know this? Because David has done clinical studies over the last 20 years. He literally started with the patch for the Navy SEALs. He was working with the Navy SEALs, and he was downloaded the information. Someone said, what is divine? God, source, whatever you want to call that. He was downloaded, in his words, by God, the idea to create a non-transdermal patch that triggers beta oxidation, turns body fat into fuel. The SEALs were on caffeines, amphetamines, uppers. Their quality of life was very diminished. They had to be on up for days and weeks on end. And so the energy enhancer took the place of those harmful, toxic things that were hurting the SEALs. And so they had great results from the energy enhancer. And then 9/11 happened. And when 9/11 happened, the company took a very different turn to be able to protect our country in the United States and bear more arms. And so the mission that David was working on with the U.S. Department of Defense and the SEALs, their many submissions, was actually shut down, stopped, right? And so David thought, this is a great idea. The energy craze was happening. This is a great idea. I'm going to do some clinical studies. He's an inventor. He's a scientist. He's a researcher. He has been his entire life. So he started working with the Stanford swim team coach and the USA Olympic swim team and doing clinical studies and finding that this was very, very powerful in triggering our mitochondria, our ATP, the energy of the cells to do what it's supposed to do, turn over lymphatic system, turn body fat into fuel, burns an extra 300 to 600 calories. And so it's all working inside of the body at a cellular level, being able to do the things that the body is supposed to do, right? Help it perform at tip-top shape. So with that, I want you to kind of understand, before we go into Marcy's testimonial and then questions, this patch being non-transdermal means there's no contraindications to any medications you're taking, any supplements you're using, anything like that, because there's nothing going in the body. So there's nothing to interact with. This isn't an herb. This isn't an oil. This isn't a tincture or something like that, or even obviously a medication. And so no contraindications, no side effects. There's nothing harmful. There's nothing going in the body. It's just asking your body to do what it did when it was younger. And so there's nothing that can interact with what you're currently doing or using. Side effects don't exist. If the only thing I'm going to say is it's really important when you use these patches to stay hydrated. Water, good, clean, healthy water. This is RO water. Okay, so really good, healthy, clean water. I don't sell water. Go get some water, get healthy water, get a water purifier on your house, something so the water you're ingesting is clean and pure, free of chemicals, heavy metals, things like that, toxins. So half your body weight in ounces every day is really important for hydration. This is something I need to stress to you guys, because if you don't drink the water that your body needs, you may have a headache or you may feel fatigued. And you may also not get as fast as results as you could if you were staying hydrated. And I'm not saying it's a guarantee, because sometimes people don't drink the required water and they still feel things. But what I'm saying is it's really important. This works with light. Our cells are light. We're trillions and trillions of cells of light. And so for the conductivity in your cells, we need water. We know we need water, you guys. We know we do. You are adults. You should be drinking water every single day. What is your weight? 200? Great. Divide it in half. 100 ounces of water every day. That's what you drink. You just do. Whether you get a gallon jug and mark it off, or you have bottles that you're marking, I don't know, whatever you're doing, but half your body weight in ounces every day. If you consume caffeine or alcohol, that dehydrates you, right? As you age, you're dehydrated. That's just what happens. Your cells are more dehydrated. And so you're going to need to compensate with an extra at least 8 ounces of water per cup of coffee or alcohol that you're consuming. So keep that in mind. Your body needs water. It's so important. And I promise you, this is just, if it wasn't so common, I would not be saying this every single week. People tell me every day they don't like water. They don't drink water. I had a man tell me yesterday he drinks chai tea with whole cow's milk in the morning, 2 cups, and 2 cups at bed, and nothing else the rest of the day. And he's 210 pounds, and he wonders why he feels horrible. I'm like, I can't imagine. Probably the fact that your body's dying inside because you're dehydrated. So we have to drink water. Soak it in lemons or limes or grapefruits or pineapple or strawberry or mint or rosemary. Soak it in a big gallon jug overnight and sip on it all day the next day. Whatever you need to do, just don't drink Gatorade and the artificial crap, all that stuff they put in, right? That just kills your brain, full of toxins. So make sure that you're getting pure, clean, whole, healthy water. And of course, some good source of electrolytes, okay? A little pinch of pink Himalayan sea salt. You need magnesium, sodium, potassium. Your body just needs those things. If you know anything about our cells, that's what they're made up of. And so most people are magnesium deficient, which is a massive issue when you look at intracellular communication and the body's ability to function. So get yourself a good electrolyte. Again, not Gatorade, not anything full of artificial sweeteners, but just make sure that, you are staying hydrated. It's really important that you're hydrated. So Marcy, I'm going to have you come over here and share your personal experience. We have about 10 minutes, 15 minutes for you, wonderful woman.
Wonderful.
So I want you to tell us what was going on in your life before LifeWave. What were you dealing with? And then
what's happened now?
Just do exactly what you did earlier on our live.
Oh, absolutely. I'll do exactly. First of all, I want to say thank you for having me. I'm loving being in Florida with you. I feel special and very well treated. So yeah, 2017, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. And, choice has consequence. And sometimes we make the wrong choice, but once the consequence happens, it happens. And sometimes we make choices out of fear versus research. And the one thing Dr. Staci has really taught me is do your research first. Take a pause, think about it, and then act. I wish I would have known her in 2017, but I didn't. So of course, the doctors were making me all scared. You gotta treat it now. And so what that meant is I had a double mastectomy on a big piece of live breast cancer. I should have shrunk it first, then did a little cutout for margins, a little lift, I'd be good. But instead, they made a whole lot of money on my surgery. And then now I have a double mastectomy, basically no breast tissue and fake boobs. And there was an organic expander on the inside. And unfortunately, after 9 months of chemo and radiation, because I did Western medicine, once again, would have been nice to know her. So after all of that, and my immune system was shot, 6 months later, a little piece of that breast cancer just pops right back underneath this organic expander. I was devastated. And the way I handled that devastation was fear and pain. And I just lost all passion, all purpose passion. I sat in a lazy boy chair and I basically was just depressed and felt sorry for myself. And that's where I was at until Dr. Rhonda Donahue knocked on my door. And she's much like Dr. Staci, a naturalist, a PhD in nutrition. She only takes products that have the highest ingredients, right? She's very particular about her ingredients. And she said to me, which one did she bring me? She brought me this one. She said, you need X39. And she gave me 10 of these. And she said,
10 individual ones.
yeah, 10 individual. Where's one of those? So they know what it looks like.
It's right here.
Oh, there she goes, right there. So show him. So look, she gave me 10 of these and she says, put this on because this is going to activate your stem cells, make more stem cells and reset them to a younger, healthier state. And Dr. Staci already explained how that works. And she says it's with this white material inside. This is organic crystal. And I said to her, well, they look like Band-Aids to me. She goes, you know me, there's so much more. She goes, we need to activate your stem cells, reset them again, because they need to start turning into the cells that you need to start repairing all of this. Because honestly, Marcy, I want you out of your chair. I want you living again. And I love you. So with that, I took the 10 patches and I put them on. I did 12 hours on to activate and repair and 12 hours off. And I put them right below the back of my neck. And I wore, let's see what happened. So the first 2 days, the chemo metal came detoxing out of my mouth. Hey, metals aren't good. Dr. Staci's been training me on heavy metals. And when they get in your cells, like they do bad stuff. And so I had a lot of it in me. And for 2 days, I just tasted the heavy metal coming out. In fact, so much so I thought, I don't think I could keep wearing these patches because it's so bad. The detox was that bad. So quit being, there's no whining on detox for any of you because I detox bad.
You'd rather have it coming out of your body than staying in, right? We talk about parasites and we're like, hello, do you want the worms in your body eating your nutrition or do you want to like eliminate them?
Right.
We're getting ready to do another round of parasite. You're going to do your first parasite.
I can hardly wait.
We're going to do it together.
A round of parasite.
Next month at the full moon.
Detoxing parasites. And then I'm going to detox more metal. But anyway, let's get back to the patches.
Yes.
I see you, Laura. So then so basically then what happened was, it just came out of my mouth so bad that I thought day 3, if it happens, I can't wear it. Guess what? By day 3, it was gone. Yay. It detoxed me in 2 days. That's how powerful this patch is. And then things just kept getting better. By day 5, I noticed right between my thumb and my forefinger, it was super soft. I don't know if you guys feel this, but have you noticed how soft your skin is if you've been on these? Yeah. Super soft. And then by day 10, this was the miracle. I just felt good again. I felt 20. I didn't know if I was living or dying. I'm technically like stage 4 under the skin. It reoccurred and I really didn't care. And I called up Dr. Rhonda and I said, I don't know what you gave me, but I got purpose and passion again. And I want to get out of my lazy boy chair and I really want to share this because this is cool. And she goes, okay. And that was 3 years ago. And today we've helped over 40,000 people with better lives. And I'm really proud of that. And
tell us what patches David recommended for you.
Yeah. And
post cancer.
Yeah, so what happened is I had that second reoccurrence. And then a year after I had yet a third reoccurrence because I am stage 4 and it's just, I am what they call chronic under the skin. And so it came back again right here under the breast, in the skin again. And I was freaking out. So I called David and I said, I have a third reoccurrence. What do I do? And he says, the 3 patches that you need to wear every day are X39 because it blasts the fast growing cells and it activates the genes to stop them from coming back. I thought that's a good idea. Glutathione because it's your master detoxifier and your master antioxidant. And this is going to detox your body from all the yuck that probably caused the cancer. Like this takes out fungus, virus, bacteria, mold, toxins, Roundup, metals. And so I probably was full of metals and honestly parasites and probably fungus, to be honest.
Of course you were.
I know. So that all came out. And then Eon activates a peptide in your liver that reduces inflammation. And it also is the queen bee jelly peptide that allows queen bees to live longer than worker bees. So it's longevity. In addition, it also has properties that stop fast growing cells from coming back. I thought that was a good idea. And the other cool thing about Eon and X39, doctor probably already talked about.
No, go ahead and say it. Because I normally do, but I was waiting for you. Yeah.
Is that, so what happens is X39, the stem cells, They are like honing birds, and they hone into the inflammation in your body. And that's how they know to start repairing. So you have, so it will go on your first piece of inflammation and repair it. And then it will move up to your next inflammation, and so on and so on. Well, here's the thing. Inflammation doesn't want to be taken care of. So it fights with the stem cells, and it tries to eat the stem cells. Can you imagine?
Like a moth to a flame.
Yeah.
Inside of your body.
Can you imagine?
No, it's real.
It's real. So David says when you use Eon and you reduce the moth to a flame, it's real.
It is.
And you reduce inflammation, it turbocharges the X39 to work better, because Eon's going to eat the inflammation that's trying to eat the stem cells. So once again, that all made a lot of sense. So for me personally, doctor, I wear a lot of the other patches, but these are my base. Like I don't go a day without them. Right now I have all three actually on my lower back. That's where I like to wear them.
Mine are
for
below
myself.
my belly button.
So
let's make a line straight down. I don't have time to mess with any other stuff. I'm busy.
Make a line straight up. So that's how that works. So yeah, great. That's that.
But any spot works because they work systemically. Systemically means all throughout the entire body. So no matter where you have inflammation, this reduces inflammatory markers. No matter where your body needs repair and regeneration, your body stem cells know where to go. Now your brain tells you that if this hurts, I'm going to stick this patch on it, and it won't fix it if it's not on the spot, because that's what your brain tells you, because that's what you were conditioned to believe from the medical world. That's not true. You can stick this in the middle of your forehead or on the top of your big toe, and it's going to work systemically to activate your stem cells to do what they're supposed to do, which is repair and regenerate your body. So knowing these two, no matter what, we're going to go to Q&A here in just a second. These two together are what we call the dynamic duo. When you reduce inflammation, like Marcy said, like David says, at the same time you're increasing stem cell production, you set your body up for a more rapid, dramatic repair and regeneration process. That's just fact. It's just science on a biochemical level inside of our body. Like science, it's what's happening inside. So we want to give the body the best opportunity to eliminate those inflammatory markers or bring them down so our body can repair and regenerate faster. You can just use this patch, and they're already asking lots of questions, but you can just use this patch. This is what I want you to understand. I cannot tell you where your stem cells are going to go first. You can't direct them. This is not an injection into the knee that you paid 25 grand for in Mexico. This doesn't work that way. And so because your body knows how to repair itself, and it does that in its own order, you could say, well, you know what, my back hurts, but your stem cells are going, I'm sorry, your liver is shot. Like, we're going to go fix that first, and then we're going to work on your spleen and your kidneys. You're worried about your back or your knee, and I'm worried about your organs. And so your body will fix what it wants first. So if you have knee pain, let's be smart about it. And let's use Ice Wave. It'll get rid of your pain on the spot. Like, it's that simple. Just get rid of it. We don't want to deal with that, right?
And I like to say your whole body's light. This is working with light, and light and the human body work perfectly together. They know how to communicate. I mean, let there be light. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
And so it is just the perfect amount of what you need. It's called photobiomodulation, light making change in the body. And so I'm more of the girl, like any spot will do. I'm just going to get those patches on. But I do want to say, I forgot to tell you this, but I have been in remission now for 2 years.
I know.
2 years.
That's amazing.
I know.
It's amazing.
And I feel better than I've ever felt.
And you look better than you've ever.
My skin is, oh dear. Oh no, you not know what she's going to do. But my skin does look 10 years younger, even though I had a year of chemo. She's so nice to me. Now you see why I come to Florida. Are all Florida people this nice?
I love her, but you do look 20 years younger. Okay. Let me find the picture.
I'm sure you will. Okay, well, that's great. Wow.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, look.
I was pretty bad back then. Yikes.
Okay, do you see this picture right here? This is before.
That was steroids and chemo. Look at how it ballooned you up. That's no joke.
Look at her hair.
It's awful.
Look at her eyes.
I had no eyebrows. Did you notice?
I know, they were gone.
So bad.
But look at her now. I mean, hello, this is an easy 20 years younger, what you look like right now.
Well, fantastic.
You don't have any makeup on.
I have a little lipstick on.
That's okay. That's okay. So anyway, she looks amazing, right? And here's what I want you guys to understand. She looks this way because of what's happened on the inside. Your outside is a direct reflection of what's going on the inside of your body. If you look old, wrinkled, tired, gray, pasty, dry, like whatever, anywhere on your body. It's just showing that your insides are not functioning correctly, right? You should be able to, you've all seen the women that are in their 70s or 80s and they are like bombshells, right? Doing their yoga or riding their bike or whatever. Their skin looks great. They are glowing because their insides are glowing. And so I know somebody on here mentioned diet, nutrition. We're not going to get into all of that, but of course, staying away from the processed things, the sugars, the fried things, the toxic substances in those paragraphs on the backs of
Well, I have to say, she took me to a vegan restaurant today and we had gluten-free. And we worked out in her gym today, and we had lots of water. Does that sound familiar?
Celery juice.
Oh, and we had celery juice. She bought me celery juice because she knows my colon gets plugged up still after all that chemo. So,
and we've already helped that today.
Yes, we did.
Check. We checked a lot of things off the box. And so it's about a lifestyle. I love that you said that earlier. This company, this nutrition, this product information, this education has helped you to make healthier lifestyle choices. Yes. Which is why you not only look amazing, you feel amazing, and that you are staying and always will be for the rest of your life, cancer-free, in remission, healthy, young, youthful, and vibrant. Like you said today, we used to live to be 1,000 years old. Why can't we do that again? Well, because our body didn't have the ability to repair and heal, and it degenerates.
Well, and I also think, like, if you're going to look at Old Testament times, they lived 1,000 years. They were closer to light. They were closer to God, closer to source. Of course. And so what happens if we now understand light and become closer again? I mean, what could happen? It could be beautiful. Right?
It could be. It will be. We're there. Okay. So questions specifically for Marcy. Okay. If you have any questions for Marcy, post them right now. I'll scroll back and go up to your other questions in just a minute. But if you have anything specifically in regards to cancer, herself, what she's done, blah, 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 that kind of stuff, then I want you to direct those to her right now before I let her.
Do you want to read that?
Which patches would help someone with stage 4 cancer in the bone? Which patches should she have?
So once again, it's X39, Eon, and glutathione. Absolutely.
Jenny, you patch the back because you can patch anywhere. She's just putting them on her back today.
Oh, actually, to be honest, I did put them right on the very back, right at the very base. What do you call that, of your tailbone? And and I patch up because after chemo, I have a lot of bacterial issues. So I'm actually pulling bacteria from my bladder through my back. So I'm actually hitting two things. I'm hitting, keeping my body healthy for any reoccurrence of the, C, and also pulling bacteria out.
Which you could pull out if you stuck them on your forehead.
Absolutely. I just like it here.
See, we're humans and we're programmed to believe that we need spots for things, and that's perfectly fine. You can put them back there to do that. It's your intention.
It is my intention, and I like it there.
Okay, so they want to know if X49 is considered a stem cell patch. So I'm going to answer this based on the information that David has shared. Okay, and you may have other things you want to add to this. This patch signals the increase of GHK-Cu. One of the genes that's reset from the increase of GHK-Cu is P63. P63 gene mobilizes stem cells, elevates them, activates them, mobilizes them, pluripotent, young, youthful, healthy stem cells.
What is it called?
P63 gene.
Yay for P63 gene. I just learned something right now.
David said it on the
I love that. No, but P63 activates your stem cells. Okay, go ahead.
I may be a David watching guru video person.
You are.
I am. And so anyways, so X49 was a patch that David created utilizing the same technology to signal a different peptide. It's a daughter peptide, which is AHKCU. AHKCU is not GHKCU. Those are two different peptides. They do two different things. The reason why David invented this patch was to help with building lean muscle mass, because as people age, they have less and less muscle mass. And so we know that not having the muscle means not helping the bones, keeping things where they're supposed to be. There's falls, there's breaks, things, accidents, and the body's not repairing itself, right? As far as on that muscular level, because your muscle ages. And so this was designed to help build lean muscle mass. It was also designed for endurance and stamina. So when he did his studies, he looked at 39 by itself, 49 by itself, and the two together. Grip strength, right? As you age, your ability to open a bottle, decreases because you don't have that grip strength. The bicep strength, pulling things, right? Shoulders, your core muscles, your quads, your glutes. So he was looking at if you're riding a bike, stationary, looking at your pulse rate. These are all things he's looking at and measuring. So what he found from the clinical studies was that X49, when using with 39, exponentially increased the results like crazy. And you can see all this at startx39now.com. You can see all the studies. We're over a year out now with these two together. But what happened was it's showing the stopping bone loss, increasing bone density. That's huge. So not only are we going to upregulate our genes, right? Reset a third of them. We're going to mobilize our stem cells. We are also going to help build lean muscle mass, reduce body fat, stop bone loss, increase bone density, help keep the systolic and diastolic blood pressure in a nice, normal, healthy range. I mean, form a Faraday cage to block 5G's EMF.
Hey,
so that kind of stuff.
That blows me away, by
right?
the way.
Google Faraday cage, Faraday. Like, go do some research. So just look at the clinical studies. Grows hair faster than minoxidil. Wow is right. I mean, if you look at my son's hair, it's like, good Lord, he's got this massive, huge, thick head of hair. He uses these two for sports and performance, right? Athlete. He's an athlete. He's 18 years old. He doesn't need to, any of that other stuff. He's great blood pressure and blah, 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 whatever. But anyways, he's using it for the gains on the court and the gains in the gym. And so what David found was, again, we're signaling a different peptide doing something totally different in the body. So not increasing your body's stem cells, working to repair and regenerate. This peptide builds lean muscle mass.
But it does activate stem cells to do that. I believe David says X39, X49 are both in the stem cell activation category.
But totally different.
But activate in a different way.
Totally different.
But like Eon and glutathione are in more of the supporting patch category.
They're activating different peptides in the liver to do different processes as well. So I'm not going to say this patch is going to activate your stem cells, mobilize your stem cells, and reset your stem cells. No. That's not what it does. It just doesn't work that way. So Casey, if you have more questions about that, you're going to be here this weekend. That would be a great question for you to ask David, but he has explained it on videos in the past. And that's how he's explained it, as this is for longevity for your muscles, getting rid of body fat, bone, and then we have some beautiful side effects of the hair and the heart and stuff like that, brain. Okay, so what other questions do you have for Marcy? Let's scroll back up.
I had a great question on at the bottom. It wasn't for me, but maybe I would love to have you answer it. It was on It was on symptoms of Parkinson and glutathione. I guess David did a.
Right here. Yeah. David did talk about the importance of glutathione with those with Parkinson's disease. Well, yeah. Okay. So when you look at the brain, you look at neurological types of diseases, right? The Parkinson's is affecting the brain. So we can't talk about Parkinson's, but we can talk about the brain and the importance of detoxifying the body. When you look at these, let's just say, autoimmune types of things that are happening in the body, it is a buildup of toxins.
I agree.
You change your oil in your car every 3,000 miles. Why are you not changing the oil in your body? People are terrified of detoxing. Terrified. Because
Why, doctor?
Because they don't want to poop. We should poop 2 to 3 times every single day.
Wow.
At least two. At least 2 times a day.
Wonderful.
Not 2 times a week, but 2 times a day. If you're not eliminating, do you know what's happening? Especially if you're eating, and you can eat meat, whatever, but meat does not digest. Beef is 2 days. It is sitting in your body. It's already dead. It's sitting there rotting. And so you look at pork, again, you're talking a good 24, 36 hours. Those are things that are sitting there in your intestines. They've got to be eliminated. If they're not, what's happening? You throw some fruit in there and you like explosion. People are full of gas, right? They're like, oh, I'll eat fruit today. And you're like, that meat's still there and it's not moving through. So then you have all this gas and bloating, indigestion, all this stuff. Food combining is a big thing. Again, we're not going to talk about that, but you have to look at detoxing your body. And reducing the inflammation in the cells is vital when you're looking at detoxing. Okay, so you want to detox. This is the biggest antioxidant. Everybody knows about glutathione. Glutathione's the IV push at the end of your vitamin drip. It's a suppository. It was part of Laura's treatment for curing herself, 5 years ago. Supplementation of glutathione every single day. But here's what happens with all of that. You're only increasing your glutathione by 20% at best, and it has a 7-minute half-life. So
Mm.
then it's gone, right? When you put this patch on, you put it on in the morning, leave it on 12 hours, or put it on at night, leave it on 12 hours, whatever works for you. But what happens is it elevates your own glutathione by over 300%. You take the patch off, it sustains your glutathione level for 24 hours. So what's happening inside of the body? Free radicals, toxins, horrible things that are going inside that you don't even realize, get them out.
Love that.
Boosting your immune system, right? Which is obviously housed in your gut. So glutathione is so important for any type of issue that you're dealing with health-wise. Why me, a year and a half ago with 0 health problems, why would I start with glutathione? Well, it's a master antioxidant. It's a master detoxer, immune booster. It is also the oldest people on the planet. We know the blue zones, right? We were in one back in Costa Rica last year. We're going to be in Sardinia this year, right? We're going to go to another blue zone. Why is David taking us to blue zones, all expense SPD paid trips? Why is he taking us to blue zones? Because you want to immerse yourself in the culture of people and their lifestyles. What are the oldest people on the planet doing? Well, they're doing these basic, simple practices. This is what their nutrition, their diet, their lifestyle, their meditation, their mindfulness. This is what their things look like. But they've tested them, you guys. They've researched them for years. How do you get to be 120 years old? Like, they have the highest level of glutathione on the planet, people on the planet, lowest level of inflammation in their body, right? And so basically, that's why, in a nutshell. Another thing I would tell you is carnosine. Carnosine is the second largest antioxidant in your body. It's one that nobody talks about. It was compounded for Laura in her treatment protocol from her holistic doctor to be able to help detox her body and get that stuff out as well too. Carnosine works in your heart. It works in your brain. Google carnosine. There's years and years of clinical studies. This works on your organs. So it's so important that you're helping your body to eliminate toxins. We've got to do that. And then quarterly kind of look at some kind of bigger detox, something more so you can do to support your system.
What
So we've got a
about
bunch
this
of
one?
questions.
This one looked like a really interesting one I wanted. What's the protocol you recommend for like scarring
Lungs.
of the lungs? That's a
So
really good question.
Definitely 39, 49, I'm sorry, 39 and Eon for sure, 100%. Reducing inflammation in the body. And then, of course, your stem cells are going to go work to repair whatever is needed.
Can I say something on X39? So if you go to startx39now.com under the GHK tab, you can see that X39 activates GHK, which also activates stem cells. But if you go look at pulmonary, there's a whole section on pulmonary, how it reduces the scarring right in pulmonary.
If you go to reverse aging with GHK.com, Dr. Lauren Picard has spent over 50 years doing clinical studies with people, everything from asthma and allergies, COPD, all the way through cancer. And you can see all of his clinical studies on there. It has nothing to do with LifeWave or these patches. It's just on the benefits of increasing GHK-Cu. This patch increases GHK-Cu. That's what it does. It declines as we age. It elevates that. And it helps to reset those genes and in turn, obviously, stem cell component.
And what's interesting, doctor, is that if you go to startx39now.com under research and patents, if you actually look at David's 20-year patent on X39, it actually says that it activates GHK in the blood, which stimulates stem cells. You can't get a patent if it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, right?
No, you cannot.
I mean, it's pretty amazing.
You don't get clinical studies from doctors and labs and independent researchers around the globe. You just don't get them unless what you're saying is happening with these random participants, right? Double-blind placebo, it's happening. I know we've had a lot of craziness out there in the last couple of years, but David has 20 years of science and research, and it's not on trying to put a drug in the body to sell a product, to sell a pill. He just wants to help people have a better quality of life. That's it. And this is an easy, simple, effective, affordable way to do that anybody can get their hands on.
You know, I was talking to a woman who runs an organization for children on the spectrum, anywhere from, ADD, asthma, spectrum autism. And what she said that she loves so much about these patches, particularly X39 and glutathione, is it's going to repair and detox those kids. But she also said, these kids are so sensory, they can't take pills. They can't swallow them.
No.
She was so excited, doctor, to have a wearable.
Right. It's nothing that had to be assimilated or digested in the body. You're hoping the digestive tract is healthy enough, which obviously it's not. If they've got those kinds of neurological issues, your brain and your gut are directly connected.
Yes.
So you're just not functioning correctly. And so would hope that some kind of pill or supplement would do it, which is why people are obviously turning towards IV therapies, but who can be hooked up every single day?
Right. And a lot of those kids they can't tolerate that.
I think April's here.
But anyway, sorry.
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning real quick and get some questions answered. We only have 15 minutes. So
Doctor, would you like me to go ahead and go so you can go through the questions real quick?
sure, go
Okay.
talk to April. She's like, can I go now?
It was so nice being here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you, doctor.
I love you. April V. Yeah, you can shut that. That's great. Okay, so we've got 15 minutes. Let me run through these questions really quickly here. Okay, so your skin is turned red after 2 months of using the patch. So pick a different location. So our skin is our largest organ, and we detox through the skin a lot of times. So if you see rashes, it just means your body is toxic. I hope you're using glutathione and Eon to make sure you're reducing the inflammation in the cells and helping to get those detox pathways opened up with the glutathione. But just pick a different spot. Your skin will go back. It'll be fine. Taylor, my daughter, when I was patching with her, I would put X39 Eon on the back of her neck every morning. She would come home. There would be red rings around those patches for 3 months solid. And by the time she woke up the next morning, they were gone. But then after 3 months, they just disappeared. So it's just a detox, okay? And get more water. It's really important you stay hydrated, like I talked about water earlier, but definitely do that. So yeah, continue to use X39 different spot, and then use Eon and glutathione as well too. All right. Yeah, you can definitely move your spot around. You don't have to stay with the same spot every day. It's totally up to you. So you detox your dogs. You definitely need to detox yourself from parasites. We deworm our cats, our dogs, our horses. We need to deworm ourselves. Let's see here. Food chemical sensitivities. Absolutely. Yes. I work with a doctor in New Mexico, Dr. Mel, and she works with food sensitivities, and she recommends X39 Eon, glutathione, SP6. That's her gut protocol. SP6 is a patch that balances the endocrine system, and it also works with your intestines and your organs. So this would be fantastic if you have food sensitivities. Okay, so you've been using them for 5 days and you haven't noticed anything yet. All right, so let's talk a little bit about time frame. So I've been doing this for 5 days and it's not fixed. Okay, well, how long have you had these food sensitivities and these issues? Probably more than 5 days, right? So let's think about this, and I'm a person that's very blunt and to the point. It's going to take time for your body to repair itself. Nobody wants to hear that. We're microwave society. We want it now. And so that's why when you look at X39, it's going to take time based on your age. So if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, either way, you're looking at, at least 90 days if in your 30s. If you've had this for 20 years, it's not going to fix itself in 90 days. We've got to give a realistic expectation here, because this is getting to the root of the problem. This is repairing and regenerating your body. And so if you're using Eon and glutathione and X39 for 5 days, fantastic. Give it 5 more months. Okay, give it 7 months, give it 10 months, give it 12 months. We can see that stem cell regeneration takes time and repair takes time, but we can also see that compound effect, right? And so what happens is you start crossing things off your list, but you're not going to get to the root of any problem in 5 days. You can maybe take a pill to mask your symptom so you don't have to deal with it or feel it. Or maybe you just don't eat those foods or have those chemicals around you so you don't have to suffer from them. But to get to the root of your gut issues, to why you have those sensitivities, it's going to take some time. So definitely, please stay consistent with it. You can be on your PEMF mat, absolutely. Infrared light with patches, sure, definitely. Those are fantastic modalities as well, too. They're things you have to be connected to or on. That's the beautiful thing about this. I stick it on, I go about my day, and I don't have to think about anything. I come home and I take it off, right? Put it by your toothbrush in the morning, so that way you brush your teeth, stick your patches on. Toothbrush at night, if it's 12 hours later, and then take them off, right? So if you're wearing 3 patches, you can do whatever time of day you want. I put mine on during the day. The only thing I wear at night is aloe vera. That's just it. Daytime, I do all my other patches. I don't want to think about anything else, but you can do whatever you want. 12 on, 12 off. Every patch has its own time frame, that it has its own 12-hour window. You cannot wear X39 or Energy Enhancer or X49 at night. Those are daytime only patches because they can give you energy and endurance, right? And so is it advantageous to wear more than one Eon at a time? Here's the thing, if you have pain all over the body, Eon is not a pain patch, right? So it's going to reduce inflammation. And sometimes when you reduce inflammation, you do have pain reduction. Sometimes when you put the X39 on, just the increase of GHK alone helps reduce pain, but that's not what they're designed for. That's not their function. If you have pain, you're going to use Ice Wave. You're going to put these two on because they're going to get to the root of your problem. Ice Wave is going to eliminate your pain on the spot. Now, I want to say this, Dawn, if you have full body pain all over everywhere, you can't put Ice Wave all over your body. You just can't do it. So you can stick with these two until they eliminate your pain. I don't know how old you are. I don't know how long that's going to take. Or if you want to use our Nirvana system, it increases your own beta endorphins, which happen to be 20 to 30 times more powerful than morphine. Clinical studies show about 1 to 3 weeks, and it's going to eliminate full body pain. Now, Nirvana is our mood balancing system. So it works with depression, anxiety, stress, that kind of thing. It works with the neural hormones and neurotransmitters in your brain. But a beautiful side effect of that from clinical studies is full body pain elimination, but it takes about 1 to 3 weeks. So you only want to wear 1 or 2 sets of Ice Wave. There's just no point in doing more. You can't patch your whole body with Ice Wave. X39 Eon every day. You make the decision on the Nirvana. So if someone's been in a car accident and they have the symptoms of concussion, what patches would you recommend? So I would definitely look at our brain protocol, 3949. Thank you, Marcy. Carnosine and Eon. This is our brain protocol and our heart protocol. Anything brain, anything heart, these are the 4 patches that would work to repair and regenerate and restore those areas and those functionalities, okay? And Marcy talked about the cancer already. And let's see, just making sure I'm not missing anything. I love that you guys are sharing some of your own personal stuff. Friend who has a headache for over a year, never goes away. Just what I exactly said with pain. Try the Ice Wave X39 Eon. It doesn't work. Add in the full system, the Nirvana. It's a supplement and a patch as well. It has a 24-hour sustained capacity to it. So definitely. We talked about asthma, allergies, GHK, Eon, fantastic. So X39 Eon. So we talked about lupus, we talked about autoimmune. I can't talk about specific, Parkinson's, MS, lupus, things like that, RA. But when you look at anything immune system wise, you look at 39 Eon, glutathione, and carnosine. Big antioxidants, reduce the inflammation, and of course, help your body repair itself. Can you put the patches in the same spot every day? Oh yeah, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. And then if you forget to take them off, then let's say, for example, if I have my patches I have on tonight, say I go to bed, I forget about them. So I have to get up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I forgot, take them off. I have to wait all day tomorrow, no patching. Then I patch again the next day. Okay. So give your body that break. Like Marcy said, we're light. So this is activating, working, elevating, mobilizing. Our body needs a break. And so if you accidentally leave them on, it's fine. Just give yourself that break until the next day. X39 Eon, carnosine 3 days, glutathione 1 day. So basically, Melanie, the same thing I just said. You can't expect something to be dramatically different for a 3-day or a 1-day period. You have to give your body time. This is not a pill. This is not a medication that's going to mask a symptom. This is a technology that's going to get to the root of the problem. So staying with it is going to be key. Staying hydrated is going to be key. You can definitely patch the patches every single day. So if someone has, issues with their immune system and they need to boost that, you can use glutathione and carnosine every single day. If you're someone that is on a ton of medications, you might want to go a little slower with glutathione, like every other day, just because of, the detox process of it. But that's a personal choice. Yeah, very good. Okay, so if you should you stop taking supplements? No, you can definitely take the supplements that you're on. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. I would just make sure you're a good, clean, healthy source. Absolutely. So if you go to startx39now.com, you can see all of our clinical studies. There are no clinical studies on diseases or disorders or syndromes. We would then show to cure or treat something, and we can't do that. So there are clinical studies on systems and organs in the body. So when you're looking at, like Marcy said, people on the spectrum, right? Different types of brain stuff, you'll be able to see our clinical studies on the brain, what it does to bring the brain into balance, into coherence, when it was out of balance from anxiety and stress and hyperactivity and just, different things like that. So you can wear all the patches at a time, except for the 2 nighttime patches. You can't wear Alavita or Silent Nights during the day. You can wear as many patches as you want. They all signal a different peptide in the body. So they all are working individually. Not that you need all of them, of course, but they're working individually, but they all do work synergistically as well too. So the thing with detoxification, you can't say, well, how long does it take to detox? Oh, 5 days, you're good to go. It depends on what's going on in your body. There is no time frame for any one person to say you're going to take this many days or this many weeks or months or years to detox. Because if you've never done a detox, which most of you probably haven't, then you're going to need to get yourself into the habit of doing that, into a regimen. And that's going to be, talk with your healthcare provider, your naturopath or holistic doctor that you're working with, and say, I've never detoxed. I'm sure my body is sludgy and slow and not functioning correctly. So I need to start getting rid of some things like candida, right? Balancing your pH, getting rid of some heavy metals, right? That are causing lots of issues in your body, and parasites, right? We want to detox these big things that are affecting our immune system and affecting the functionality of our cells and our body. So definitely, I had no detox symptoms from patching, but I also detox every quarter. So I didn't have any issues. Laura didn't have any detox issues. Marcy was on chemotherapy and radiation for 9 months, and she had 2 days of her mouth tasting. I've had a lot of people tell me they could taste the metal come out of their mouth. Whew, that's horrible, right? But would you want it in or do you want it out? Like, that's what I always tell people. Do you want to leave the worms in your body or do you want to get rid of them? Do you want the heavy metals in your body wreaking havoc in your body, or do you want them out? Like, it's just part of it. You want them out. Everybody wants them out. Yes, you can stack the patches if you want to. It's perfectly fine. So psoriatic arthritis. So X39, Eon, and glutathione. And obviously, if they're in pain, then definitely Ice-Wave. So bowel movements, yeah, we have to go once or twice a day at least. That would be fantastic. SP6 is going to help you with that. Colonics every 3 to 4 months would be fantastic. Of course, you could obviously do it 3 or 4 times a week if you get things moving, but you want to look at your diet. Like, what is it that's causing this? Or is it stress? Is it anxiety that's happening? Like, there's a lot of factors that can play into not having a bowel movement, but SP6, X39, and glutathione and Eon are the patching protocol for, as per Dr. Mel, gut health, right? To keep things moving, your bowels and things like that. So patches are synergistic with most technologies. You can definitely use them with any type of thing. I would not wear them during a mammogram or an MRI. It's not going to harm you if you do, but they're not going to let you. Like, I've had my daughter go through MRIs and there's nothing, like nothing can be on your body, and there's no point in it. You'll be fine. An MRI is 30 minutes, right? A mammogram's minutes. Just take them off for a second and stick them back on. When you look at the thyroid, we do SP6. So you would do X39, Eon, and SP6 would be fantastic for anything with the thyroid, anything in your entire endocrine system. So when you look at long haulers or things like that, we would look at X39, Eon, glutathione, carnosine, energy enhancer, turns over your lymphatic system, like I mentioned. So it helps get that stuff out of your body faster, clears up the lungs and things like that. And as I mentioned with thyroid, we definitely look at the SP6. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. We only have like 1 minute. Young adult has feet that only work when on his toes. I don't know how that would help him, but can't hurt him. So you could do the X39 for sure. Give it a shot, right? So we have a testimonial channel called Be Activating. We have over 3,000 recorded testimonials in there. So you would just go in there and search the things you're looking for if you want people's personal testimonials. Do we always need to detox? Yeah, I've been detoxing since I was 18 years old. Once a quarter, I do something, whether it's 24-hour, water fast, or 3-day juice cleanse, or 7-day, liver detox, gallbladder detox. Yeah, Yeah, we detox on a regular basis. We're bombarded by toxins, environmental, food, all kinds of stuff. Like you just have to detox. It's like changing your oil in your car. It's critical, right? Or otherwise you're going to be riddled with disease processes throughout your body. So get in the sauna, right? Exercise, sweat. All right. So we don't have any more time. We're literally out of time. But basically, guys, if you have any other questions, please get back with the person that invited you. They're going to help you get set up, customize your packs, whatever you want to mix and match the patches. You don't have to start with all of them, obviously. Pick at least the X39 Eon, maybe one other patch to start with, and kind of get your feet wet, get in the habit of drinking the required water a day that your body needs to stay healthy and hydrated. And then, add a little here or there if you want to down the road, if you want to play with stuff. That's what Laura and I did. We started with 6 patches and we're like, boom, 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 boom. Give me all these. Okay, now let's play with the other ones. Right. And so do whatever works best for you. This is not you have to buy all of these things. We want you to do something that you're going to utilize to help your body get into balance. It's going to take some time to get into balance. We understand that. We know that. We're here to help you and work with you and consult with you. So get back with that person that invited you. I'll upload this recording. I know you guys always ask in just a little bit. I'm going to say hi to April. It'll convert and I'll get it uploaded to my YouTube channel. And then I look forward to seeing all of you this weekend that are coming in Sarasota for our huge event with David. We are over sold out. I emailed with him tonight and I told him, I said, David, if I would have room, we could have had more people in a hotel room for this event than we had at convention last August. Like we are at pushing 700 right now. And we could have easily had 1,500 people that wanted to be here. So everybody wants to hear David. They all want to hear the information. They want to hear the stories. They want to hear the testimonials. They want to hear the science and research. And they also want to know how to share this with others. And we're going to go over that all this weekend. So if you're someone that can't make it, I apologize. I'm sorry. We're going to be doing, we have 4 regional events throughout the year. So get with the person that invited you. They're connected to a leader in our organization. We all work together and they can help you figure out what's going to be in your area or somewhere that you can attend next, so you can get your butt in the seat, as I always like to say. And we can also get you to see you and hug you and just get to know you more. And we just love the community that we have, the people that we work with. We're together every day with the most amazing people that are doing everything we can to help people improve their quality of life. People are suffering, they're in pain, and their lives are not as the best quality as they could be. And we know that this technology is helping millions of people improve their quality of life. And that is why we are here and why we're all going to continue to do what we're doing to help make a difference in people's lives. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you.